Good
Listen,
morning.
there he is. Right, he's right next to a plane that's revving up, but I can hear you, Mark. That's
And
okay.
there we go. We got planes flying in all morning.
All
We're here
right.
at Cottonwood Airport for our annual pancake breakfast in our EAA hangar. If I can get a picture in the back.
Nice.
And I'll kind of walk down. We got planes lined up. We got planes landing right now. I thought maybe we'd walk down and kind of see some of the planes that have come in.
Did you try going sideways with your camera just so we can maybe see a little bit more of what you're doing? There we go. And that's what I'm talking about,
All
Mark.
right, so we're back in the EAA hangar. So let me do a spin around. Let's see. We got some planes coming in all day. Yeah, I can't even figure out how to work cameras.
Perfect job there. Now, can people come down and like buy a plane ride this morning, or is that some other time?
So right now we don't sell plane rides, but we're actually going to do May 18th. We're going to have what we call a Young Eagles rides with our basically giving free rides to kids. We'll have our local guys from the airport out flying and bringing in, trying to give kids an experience that they haven't had before and maybe get them interested in a little bit more science and technology and really get them out and see what it's about. Anybody can learn to fly. It's not that outrageous. And, people think that this is something that's only available to people who are rich, but it's not. We can get everybody out and give them a great experience. Now, I will tell you some of the.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but how much does it cost to have a kid? I have two grandsons, 8 and 6. Is there an age limit? One, what does it cost? Two, what does it cost?
So we don't have any. No, the pilots out here volunteer when we do this May 18th Young Eagles rides. It's for kids. I want to say 8 and up, and there's no cost. It's something that we volunteer to go to try to give kids a experience that they haven't had before, and we'll be doing it from 10 to 2 on. May 18th. We can just have them show up, but we actually have registration. If you go to EAA22.org, you can follow the links to register in advance. Now, we do ask the parent or legal guardian to sign a waiver, typical insurance stuff, but all our pilots are background checked and insured to go up flying. But it's something we like to give back and give kids an experience that they haven't had before.
Nice. I put the link to the what your guys' website in the chat
Thank
here.
you.
It's on the screen right now. And a lot of times I'll go to organizations' websites to show people what they look like, but I'd rather see what you're doing out there today because this is awesome. I'm glad got a good signal out there at Cottonwood this morning.
So literally, as we're talking, planes are flying in. This is our annual pancake breakfast. We do this the first Saturday of May every single year. It's been going on since 1974. It's been at different locations, but it's been at Cottonwood for at least the last dozen years. This is part of the EAA, the Experimental Aircraft Association. This is local chapter 22. And it's everything from aviation enthusiasts, pilots like myself, aircraft builders. There's a big community of people who build their own aircrafts. And it's just a way for us to get together. This is kind of our fundraiser, or a big fundraiser for the year to get everything going. But on a beautiful morning like this, we all like to do this and come out and have a beautiful day out flying too. So it kind of brings things together.
And you had mentioned, even if someone isn't into flying, they can come out and help you guys out with stuff. You got stuff that volunteers can do all the time.
Yes, we have activities going on. Actually, with our chapter, we have 2 different build projects that we're building 2 different planes on Mondays and Thursday nights. Every single night out here at Cottonwood Airport. We actually do a lot of training with student pilots. We offer twice a year a ground school course to learn to be a private pilot. And on top of that, we're going to be giving away our 2 flight scholarships this year. We're going to be awarding 2 different students. I'll tell you, one's 18 and one's 16. Complete flight scholarship to go from never flying an airplane to being a private pilot. So we've been able to do that the last 3 years, and we've been able to train upwards of a dozen different pilots, but we've been able to give away, I think, 5 different scholarships in the last 3 years.
That's amazing. And before I forget, I want to make sure to thank Bruce Jacobson for connecting us together here, Mark, today. Bruce, a big part of what you're doing out there at Cottonwood Airport.
Oh, 100%.
He's a busy guy, spreading the word everywhere he goes. He came down
Yes,
to
he
our
does.
Rockford linked lunch a few weeks ago and brought his big poster about this event and everything else. So kudos, Bruce. You're doing an awesome job promoting what's going on out there. And the breakfast is this morning. You got till 11 o'clock to get out there today. So if you're watching us live, great. If you're watching us on the rebroadcast later, sorry you missed it, but that's okay. Go on out there, plug into the website, plug into the Facebook group page, and see if there's something that you want to plug into and volunteer and help out with. You mentioned, I know that, flying can be, there's expenses involved, obviously, but it's not as crazy as some people might think. Can you kind of fill us in with some of the details on costs for getting trained, taking lessons, and maybe eventually somebody buying your own Piper or whatever kind of plane?
So there's all sorts of different options. There's a flight school. There's multiple flight schools around the area. There's one in Janesville, one at Poplar Grove Airport. We do more private, working one-on-one with flight instructors, and working with personal people who either have their own airplane or able to borrow a different airplane. But to give a rough idea, anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to get a private pilot. There's opportunities with flying clubs in the area at Rockford Airport, down in Mount Morris Airport, that have different opportunities to join, that they do have aircraft that you can join the club. Once you get your license, you can go out and fly the airplanes. And there's just lots of opportunity. My biggest thing is people see the fences around airports and they think that they're not welcoming. Well, they really are welcoming to come on out and see what's going on. And that's what part of this pancake breakfast is about, to let people know what's going on out here. And I got to tell you, it's like a big park out here, and you get to kind of wander around and meet the people and find out how other people got involved. But we're actually seeing a lineup right now to come in for our private pilot. Here's one of the guys who's walking in right now, who's one of our flight instructors, who's been helping out with a lot of kids and adults learning how to fly. So a lot of different opportunities.
That's sweet. That's sweet. Well, you've got an awesome crew out there helping you out, a bunch of volunteers to make this all work this morning. I imagine the cooks have been busy at it since about 4 or 5 this morning.
Yeah, you can see I kind of turned around and I got our lines, not 4 or 5. We got out here about 5:36 to get everything starting prepared. And we were a little bit busy at the beginning, but now everything's coming together. So we really feel like we've been doing this a long time and we got it kind of down. But every first Saturday of May, we'll be out here, and we'll be out here until 11 o'clock today.
Awesome. Good deal. Dan's chiming in saying his dad belonged to the flying club out there at Cottonwood years ago, and he used to come out there many times, taking off from Cottonwood.
It's a great little place, right across from Ulmer High School, and really welcoming. That's what we want everybody to know.
Well, before we let you go, what about yourself personally, Mark? What got you involved in flying in the first place? What's your little backstory on? Were you a kid? Were you a little kid and dad do something, or an uncle, or a friend? How'd you get plugged in?
Literally, I had no attachment to flying. Nobody in the family flew. Something I always dreamed about doing. And when I got my license about 10 years ago, I just decided it was something I wanted to do, made some reaching out, and somebody directed me to this guy, and I met him up and got my license. I'm actually a pharmacist. I have no background in aviation. But if you put the time and effort, it's not hard to do. It's open to everybody, and it's a neat community. You meet a lot of people from a lot of different walks of life. So we have everything from truck drivers and electricians to doctors out here who fly out at this, and it's just a welcoming community, and everybody is welcome to come on out. I guess that's the big answer.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's still on the bucket list for me to go up in one of those smaller planes. So I'll have to bug you someday to say, hey, let me know when you got an open seat, because I'd love to go for around the city.
There's always an open seat, Greg. You can come on out today and we'll get you up in the air.
Oh, man.
Can I pose as a really big 10-year-old and go on the 18th?
You know, it might happen. I'm never going to say no. There's guys who always, I'll tell you, I just walked past this yellow plane, give you an idea. The other passion these guys have is keep some of these older airplanes still flying. There are planes from the 40s and 50s that they keep flying out here and keep it maintained. I'm walking up to one other thing, give one other plug out here. We got the guys from the Northwest Illinois Air Show, which will be
September 21st at the Freeport, Alberta airports.
Did you get all that?
Freeport, Alberta airport. So that's just down the road.
Just down the road off 20.
Highway 20, about 35 minutes from here.
Nice.
So the one-day air show, we got a lot of good acts coming in. It's been getting bigger every year. It's the 4th year, and there's going to be a lot of things to see, a lot of stuff for the kids to do, and also lots of food trucks for people that like to eat.
And that's September 21st. September 21st,
2024 in Freeport.
Right up
There you go.
Yeah, now you can see it.
I'll trust you, Mark, to get me that info so I can post it on our website.
I will do that.
That's a great plug right there for something coming up in September, and we'd love to have them on the show too and plug that. So
On the show.
Okay, cool.
You've been excellent. Is there anything that we didn't ask you about that you wanted to make sure we talked about today? I mean, shout out to the volunteers, obviously, who got up early and made this all happen this morning. And then a couple of weeks ago, you had a bunch out there cleaning up the grounds, picking up sticks, all that wind to begin the season.
Yes, sir. Just wanted to thank you for putting us on this morning. Really, we want people to really think that this is doable. It's friendly. It's welcoming. Sometimes they see the gates and they think that nobody's allowed in the airport. We want to let everybody know that this is a community that we want people to come out and experience what's out here.
Awesome.
Well, I have one real quick question before you go. How many runways do you have?
So here at Cottonwood, we just have one runway moving north and south. And it's perfect for small airplanes. Are we going to land any of the jets here? They're not coming in here. But the small planes, all of us love coming into this kind of park-like atmosphere.
Yeah, it's a beautiful spot. I can only imagine the kids going to high school at Auburn, seeing that throughout their Auburn high school career. There, you got to have a few that just walk over and say, "I got to be a part of this. What can I do?"
Exactly. We've had kids get involved 100%. And what's kind of interesting, when you're coming into the runway, you fly right over the stadium. So we get to see what's going on every day in that stadium too when we come right over.
Nice. Well, I'm sure we forgot to ask you something, but let's try to connect again maybe before the Freeport show and give them a plug and look forward to promoting next year's pancake breakfast all over again for you, Mark.
Thank you so much. I
All
just
right,
have to leave.
Good job, buddy. Yep, you're all good.
Thank you.
Awesome job, Mark. How about that, Tom?
That was really cool. I've been up in an airplane. I've been up in a twin engine in 6th grade, or twin engine. What do they call it? Piper, whatever it was.
I don't know what they're called.
Like those.
Yeah.
And I've been in several airplanes flying Seattle and wherever. But
I've never been in a small. I've never been in a small 2-seater like that, or three seater like that. So
this was like
that's
a 4 or
on the
5-seater. Yeah, this was a school thing. We were all in 6th grade. I don't know how we ended up doing it, but there were like 4 of us in there. The pilot and then 3 kids. That was cool.
Well, thanks to Mark for joining us again. Rockford's chapter is chapter 22. I want you to think about that. There are hundreds of EAA chapters across the country. There are hundreds of them.
Mhm.
And Rockford is number 22.
22.
Think about this. Of all the cities in America that have EAA chapters, that have planes and runways and small airports like Cottonwood, and the 22nd chapter awarded in the country was right here in Rockford. If you ever had any doubts about how aeroplanes and aeronautics is important to the hub, to the forest city of Rockford and where we are here in Northern Illinois, that should tell you it right there. So if you don't make it out there today, try to get out there some other time with the other events that they have throughout the year, and plug in to all things EAA Chapter 20.